There you go. That was close. I almost started playing some of my regular music. And I don't want to get copyright struck. That happened once, but it wasn't too bad. It was like within the first 5 minutes, and it was a very obvious um, moment where I definitely did not intend to be playing music that was copyrighted. It was like 5 minutes of straight of just Massive Attack in the background before I even noticed. So yeah, I just cut the audio out for that bit. Let's see. I spent like the past 10-15 minutes setting up all the audio and everything, and then I forgot to actually get my tablet out. So, just give me a second to work on that. I want to make sure I have my wires because I didn't get a chance to charge my tablet, and I've been using it a lot recently. So we'll see how that goes. Let me just make sure everything's all right. As far as I am aware, things should be good. I've kind of tweaked how things look on the stream, at least for the recording once everything's said and done, and I post them on my YouTube for the archive. Until then, it's just going to be... Sorry, I took a sip of water. I also had a very bad mic experience in the last episode. I was breathing heavy and puffing on the mic with the P's and the pop filters. So I put back in the noise gate. Hopefully it's not cutting out the audio. But I guess that's just gonna have to be something I find out later. Oh, I thought my tablet already died. I was about to really be sad. Okay, let me check some. Nope, no. That was close. Why did it start playing audio from my playlist again? I don't think I'm gonna be getting away with like playing new Radiohead music. That's weird. Okay. It had my queue that I had from last night still up for whatever reason, even though I listened to the entire queue, but we're just gonna stop messing with the microphone for a minute. All right. So last we left off, I finished doing the Hatsune Miku poster in the background. That was really fun to do, really silly. I still have another area for a poster that we can work on, but I think I'll leave that for later. I think I want to get more of the background detailed out. Yeah, possibly get some better coloring on Maria. So I guess a little bit of a surprise. I've been working on something else with new Krita 5 features. I just recently updated Krita 5, and I have the recorder. So let me go and show you what I've been working on in the past few days. I think it was only 2 days because I really crammed in the art as fast as I could. You just give me a minute to pull it up. Come on, open. Double clicking with the pen is kind of annoying. No, it's not there. Hold on. Here we go. It's loading up. Here we go. So this is something that I've been working on for a little while. I just had this idea come up whenever I was watching the LA by Night Vampire the Masquerade roleplay. They had their episode 2. There was this moment where someone was losing it. They were letting go of their beast. Something that I really like. I don't know if this is a normal thing in the rules or just like something that Jason Carl, the storyteller, personally chose to do. But everybody has like this actual like voice for their beast, the vampire beast. And they're, just like these hungry demon sounds, and they're they all have like unique voices for each different character, and I really enjoy that. I think it's like a very fun. It's almost like everybody having their own stand, and from JoJo's, where it's like every single person character has their own like individual spirit that's like that gives them an extra dynamic to work with. Um, as far as like expressing their personality. But anyways, so someone's losing it. And there was this moment where she kind of just like let it go against this like crowd of enemies, and I thought that was like a really awesome moment. So I kind of made this in in like inspiration from it, just like the idea of like having this inner beast that you're losing it to. I think the quoting is pretty similar. Like I don't know what the actual player said, but it was kind of like I'll leave this to you or something like that. And then the beast inside just said good choice. And then proceeded to go off on a bunch of security guards. So I had like yeah, that's where the idea for this comes from. I did a lot of things for this. I used the recording feature. That's mainly what I wanted to try out. So on my YouTube right after this, I'll post my time lapse recording that came straight from Krita. It's really cool. I had a ton of fun. I will also be posting it on my Instagram, the video, which isn't something I've done before. So just check out those, and you'll be able to get it. It would be very hard for me to do it with Twitch. I'd have to like add stuff to my current OBS setup that I don't have prepared. Yeah. So I can go ahead and go through the layers, I think. So this is the actual one that's built out and everything. I had to flatten the layer in order to tweak the colors, because once it was done, it was a little. I was inspired of the palette was inspired by like someone else's some art that I've seen on DeviantArt. So I kind of just had all those colors in mind when I was working on this. So whenever everything was said and done, it was still a little gray, a little bland, because it is a very moody, dark picture. So I just punched up the colors a bit with the HSV saturation, the color balance, and the adjustments to make things a little bit brighter, but not completely removing the shadows. The shadows are almost unchanged. So yeah, just a little punch up. I like doing that for at the end. Let's go back to the individual layers. The background was something I put together very quickly. I think then sometimes you just having a little bit of texture, a little bit of a color in the background is really all you need for like a drawing. Leaving it blank white is a little disorienting. And it's kind of funny that I say that, because a lot of my drawings that you see on posted on Instagram have like no background. It is a blessing to the eyes whenever you see me do a background. But yeah, just some quick things that I put in the background here. Just some quick scrapes with a nicely textured brush. I really am a huge fan of I'm learning with digital art to appreciate the textures that come with like natural brushes and natural chalk and all these other things that you lose because it's digital. It's as perfectly smooth or as gritty as you really as you like it to be. You can't get like really good like brush. What's the word I'm looking for? It's like virtual brushes, I guess was what I'm trying to say. Simulated brushes with GIMP. And Krita has one of the better brush simulation engines. There's probably actually a word for it. Those are the words that I'm going to be using. But yeah, I had a lot of fun using the chalk, the like dry brushes, in order to get these just like gritty textures, especially for like shadowing, and with a piece like this where it's a moody, dark painting. Like I had a lot of fun getting all this nastiness, griminess into the piece. Even though you could see he's like in a suit, he's well dressed. His hair is a little messy, but you know it's also kind of a vibe. Some people like that messy hair. So yeah, I'm slowly learning to just like let the texture of the other brushes do a lot of the work for me, and it really is one of my favorite things to do. Just like let the individual grit of the brush strokes just add so much to it. And then you could see I took without the color. Let me take off some things. There we go. You can see the line art that I did. I colorized the lines just a bit. I'm still getting used to colorizing. I tried using a lot of different references to see how other artists do it. It's still something I'm getting used to, but you can see that the lines are a little bit red, a little bit colored. Just adds a little something. Maybe I'm overemphasizing how much colorizing your line art is supposed to do, but that's just something I do. And you can see I went ahead and actually drew what he looks like without the demon energy. I don't know what to call it. This is one where it's like it's very clearly inspired by Vampire the Masquerade. At least the work that I've been doing with within that universe, but it's not actually in that world. It's just like some kind of generic demon vampire, whatever you want to call it. Energy. Not really a story, not really a character, not really a reference, but just more of a snapshot of a mood. It was really fun. Trying to think if there's anything else I really want to point out in this. There's little things that I noticed after I spent a bunch of time making all the videos and getting all the edits finally finished. I didn't notice like there's like small little inaccuracies, but you know I don't think it's gonna benefit me to point all the little things that I notice. Sometimes I think artists get too worked up into pointing out their own flaws that they can work against themselves. So I'm trying to learn to not do that. So yeah, I have the version with the text speech. Guess I'll leave this to you. Good choice. And then I also have the textless version for whatever reasons I feel. But yeah, that's just a little project that I've been working on. This took 2 sessions. The first session was like maybe 6 hours, and then the second session was another 4 or 5. So big long sessions of just working on it. That's why I was able to crush it out so fast. But I'm very happy. I love the palette. I love the lighting. Very happy. A lot of fun stuff. A lot of good lessons learned while working on this that hopefully I will be able to apply to this one. I think, like I said, leaving a lot of the work up to the texture of the brushes is something that I really got to experience. So let me check my notes, see what I've got left. So blocking out the background, getting the more complex shading and coloring on all the characters, and tweaking the lighting. So first, it's gonna be working on the background. So let me. Where do I have the monitors? There it is. So technically, this is her like security cam, so it would be like a black and white. But I think I'm gonna keep it with the same colors and tones of the rest of the monitors, because I don't want to have to include like another source of lighting to make everything even more complex. There's already 3 different lighting situations from down here. Then there's gonna be blue lights from below and the white light from her camera flash. So I don't want to add also an additional 4th lighting. Just try to keep it as simple as I can. So I think the brush I want to use is this. even though this is a paintbrush, I think the textures are reminding me of kind of like individual LEDs, kind of like how at some angles you can see the separation of different LEDs. So in its own way, it actually kind of feels like it works for this. Let me clip that off. And then let me also grab the make it a bit shorter. And let's try to actually like denote why is this color in there. Why is it pulling that color? That's very annoying. This one, this right here. Is it not gonna like? Oh, I'm in a race. I'm such an idiot. Oh my goodness. That always gets me. I love being able to switch between erasers using the same brush, but I do that so often that it almost like works against me. Let me actually do something a little bit more consistent in size. I don't think these monitors really matter. I'm gonna have to actually like work on them later to get something a little bit more clean. And then get back to this brush. And I don't really know what the cameras would show. Like, let's try. The brush is just too big. I'm trying to think of angles that would make sense for a camera, like maybe a doorway, like at the top corner. Just give you the general impression of a door. Maybe like you could see like a little bit of the hallway. Okay. Yeah, I think I overworked it a bit. Hold on. I've got some ideas on how to add new things to the stream, but so far there hasn't been many changes to the setup. I think just some fixes to the audio is basically all I did. All the changes that I made are pretty much just for the recording of a stream because I've figured out the recording only, stream only elements that you can use. So now I have things actually show up in my screen that aren't just the stream. Okay, so that's one camera. Let's get this color back. So we have the top of the hallway, maybe outside the building, so like an alley. This brush actually does a little bit of overkill whenever it's at a small enough size because it'll just start to the way that it works is that it keeps gaps, but it's like a fixed area or fixed size. So it kind of, and the smaller you get, the less actual paint it starts to put out, which is interesting and also sometimes unhelpful. But that's what I get for wanting those specific cues. you lose a lot in the gold texture. Oh, that's too dark. Okay, so that's 2, 3. How's it look on the? It actually looks, yeah, they actually kind of do look like cameras. Let's say like a lobby. No, I'm not straight on, like at an angle. That way it's like a hidden camera. Or like the elevator. Maybe like a little planter right here. Chairs. Yeah, you've seen chairs that look like that, right? Right. A little coffee table. So you can see like at this size, like the gaps that it and the texture that it puts in are like so big that you actually are getting like very little paint out of the brush. So let's bring back this guy. Maybe just a little bit of shading. These are my two go-to brushes for texture, just like this one chalk, especially since this particular one has like a lot of gap within it, within the brush. Like you can see all the gaps in the paint. So you can like apply it softly. You can apply it harshly for like a really dark tone. So it's like there's a lot of options with it. Yeah, that looks like kind of like a lobby, a waiting room or something. And I just need one last thing. What is this? We're ignoring that. Yeah, it doesn't really bother anything on the camera. Ooh. One more camera. So we got the elevator. We got like the back of the building. We got the door right outside. Could probably put like Tetsuya in there. Come on. Where is he at the doorway? He's almost at the top. So like right here is his head. There you go. You get the little like impression of Tetsuya at the doorway, which would be terrifying if you like noticed on the camera just someone standing at your door, like especially that close. Waiting room. I don't know. She got a camera in the bathroom. Maybe inside the elevator. Let's do it from below, actually. My brain isn't doing this correctly. There we go. I figured it out. I think one of the aspects of this character that isn't so clean and happy-go-lucky would be that she has like zero sense of privacy. So she has absolutely no issue of like peeping on people's lives and stealing their information. Like one of the originally I had it so she would like feed on people by like posing as like an e-girl, and then like just attacking them in the middle of the night, just like a bunch of like lonely people. Phishing attacks, I think, like stuff like that. But then I decided that she would actually be a, what's the word for the feeding type where they feed on animals? Farmers? Yeah, that's the one. Let me take out the chair. There it is. Line art doesn't bother me. Just more cleanly define it a bit. And then get that color back. Is it still in the right layer? Okay, yeah, we're still in the right layer. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been able to erase it, so there's that. Okay, we can put the chair back in now. Just want to get some stuff on these monitors. There you go. And then that will explain the pink light layer. Okay, so what are we doing? What are we doing? I could go ahead and do the rest of the underneath of this chair. Let me actually turn off everybody. Oh, I actually finally went back and like did all the layers and reorganized everything. There we go. So this is just like the guides. Hatsune Miku has her own layer. There we go. PC, tower, table, desk. So this is the one we want to work on for now. What does it look like without the guides? It's okay. And the drawing showed earlier, I did try just making a drawing without any line art at all. Just going straight into just blocking out colors and shapes. But it didn't work that well for me. Turns out having zero plan sometimes can not work so well. I think especially whenever it's digital, which is like a medium I'm not super comfortable with in the first place. So that's why it didn't end up going as I planned. Which is no plan, so. What is this? Why is it doing that? That's not the color I chose. What is this? What color is this? I'm gonna lose it. Is something wrong? Oh, I'm on a luminosity layer? Oh. Oh no. I've been working on the wrong layer. Oh my god. Oh wow, that's so annoying. Like even the most I can erase isn't gonna work. That's actually way better, but it's not what we're trying to do. Well, just keep erasing. We gotta erase all the work. I'm very sad now. Just try to keep as much of the line art as we can. I don't think I did anything there. Man, digital art sometimes just really has a way of just making you want to hurt yourself. You know? All right. We are on the correct layer. We're going to do this right this time. I also did remember the way that I like to do line art in a reasonably timed manner that isn't like 8 hours, which is just kind of overdoing your strokes. So if like you're trying to make a triangle, just overdoing it a bit and then just erasing off the tail ends that you don't need. Usually gets those smooth lines and those shapes made fast enough that you don't have to worry about much. Like it is that the right color? Why is it not the right color? It just does it more efficiently. So instead of like taking those really long, slow strokes or those doing like a million quick little lines and trying to piece those together, you just do 2 individual strokes, and that's kind of just all you need. Oop, we're keeping that pen. I might go back and change it, but these lines or these colors aren't actually true to what they are. Like hold on, let me try to get this erased. Like this desk actually wouldn't be blue in real life, but I keeping with the mood of the lighting, we're using darker colors, or we're using this one color to kind of just coat the entire background. That way it's not a chaotic mess of a bunch of different individual objects. If you wanted to, you could definitely like make a pattern that's the eraser. If you wanted to, you could like individually pick out every single object and create a color scheme that's like that works together, but it's not what we're doing. It's just not. That's a PC tower, so that goes here. What does all this look like without the line? Let's also make this longer. I'm a little bit more confident in my techniques now that I've finished that other drawing. Because now I kind of have reminded myself that things do work out whenever I'm done with the digital pieces, which is always something I know, but sometimes I can get a little worked up in my own head. Hey, it's the Binging with Babish song. Ooh, there it is. The audio is almost silent. Oh my goodness, I keep working in layers I don't have active. Oh, you are joking right now. I am so insanely angry right now. It just deleted all the work I did on this tower. I'm very sad. Please just let me finish this thing. I'm getting angry, but literally the only person I have to blame is myself. Because I'm getting too funky with the layers. Let's get this middle shade. I think we can go back to the regular brush now. Because now it's big enough again that I can actually get paint on there using it. Does that look right? Let's try including some more of the characters. Might be a little over-rendered. Especially for what it is. Let me try also just moving it. Because I kind of don't like that you only see like a little piece of it. But then there's nowhere that feels natural. Like it really is just that tiny little thing tucked in the corner. Whatever, let's not get too worked up to do it. Let's also put right behind it the fridge. So this is the mid-tone. And let's get that dark tone. Kind of just blend it like that. Because the lighting would be hitting like the corner of it in the front. So we would need like a gradient basically. Okay. Then we can grab that lighter, that light tone. Look at that. How are we looking without the lines? A little goofy, especially without the with the modem. I think I need to work on the door too. Let's go and fix the door. Let me pull it back up the lines. Then we're just gonna trim this up so it fits the shape. Where's the line art? Here it is. We would probably just completely remove that for a little while. Oh no, because it has all the desk clutter, doesn't it? Yeah, okay. So what shade do we have here? Because I need to also do this doorway. So something slightly darker than that. Yeah, this one's nice. Let's make it a slightly bit shorter and smaller. There you go. Just take out the line art for a second. I think we're gonna need to add some darker shades to really push it out. But that's good for now. Let's try actually something real quick. So let's just grab that. Got a really dark shade. No, it's still too dark. Okay. So darker than this would be that. No, much darker. Trying to figure out a way to just grab this section, so maybe I can just. No, let's try this again. There we go. There we go. Alright, I think that's good for the doorway for now. Let's get back to all this stuff and start working on some of the stuff on the desk. This is the wrong layer. Just some modem antenna. Just some random stuff here. There you go. All right, let's move on to the next one. I'm gonna give her a blue Yeti mic here, just like the little ball mic. Hang on just a second. I actually should probably look up what those look like real quick. I'm specifically talking about the snowball. Although I'm not trying to get exacts here, so let's get back to it. Hey there. So I'm just working on my thing. Yeah, we're still just getting all the background detailed out. You missed me basically just doing some cleanup on some of the smaller background objects. I don't think there's a ton that I'm going to need to do on the desk, just a mic, a mouse, keyboard, and then like the monitor stands. So yeah, basically nothing. But yeah, that's what I'm going to be doing for probably most of today. I think if everything goes right, probably the next session would be the last session, but that really just depends on how slow I'm going to be taking it today. Stance is like this. There we go, that works. Maybe just a little bit of... Let me actually pull out the pencil. Just a little bit of hatching, so you can tell like it's some kind of texture. This is me getting too worked up into details that no one's gonna notice. I stopped myself though, so that's good. Sort of. There you go. Just want like some kind of logical there with for the wire. Next, we're gonna do the mouse. I really should be just like rushing through these because these aren't really details that matter at all. Like they're just gonna be tiny details in the grand scheme of things. But my brain refuses to let me just ignore anything. And by my brain, I mean me. Probably should have put this into its own layer as like desk clutter, but I just crossing my fingers that nothing goes wrong and I end up having to do it later. Man, is this not the best keyboard you've ever seen? Man, I'm really am like some kind of prodigy. It actually does look, it doesn't look too bad whenever you look at it from afar, which kind of scares me. And then from personal experience, I know that these keyboards always feed the wires through, or these setups almost always like to feed them through just underneath the monitor. Where's the color? Where am I? Basically the rule of thumb is kind of just like always separate the layer if you can, because you can always merge them later, but it's a little bit harder to separate later. So basically every individual object is a separate layer. The only things that are like actually jammed together, like even this poster has the background of the poster is pink. And then I have on a separate layer Miku herself, like the actual character that's put on there. And I'm going to eventually merge those, but once I feel like it's safe for me to completely leave it. Usually I only need to merge them whenever like I need some huge thing done to it later. Like adjusting all the colors at once, usually that needs to be merged. Hold on, let me pull out my other picture. The one that I just finished. Hold on. It won't open. Hurry up. I'm losing patience. There we go. So like for this one, I did have to merge everything together into like so this is it without any of the adjusting to the lighting and colors. So you can actually like separate. Sorry, my heart jumped out of my chest. That is extremely loud on my end. I don't know how loud it is on yours. But I can actually like separate out the color layers, the ink layers. Let me see. The background. Yeah. But then once I wanted to actually adjust the colors as a whole, the lighting as a whole for the entire picture, I had to merge everything together. Sorry for the blinding light. There we go. So I had to merge everything together into one flat picture, basically, and then adjust the colors after. Yeah. So sometimes you have to merge, but if you can avoid it, I usually separate them out into different layers because it almost always turns wrong on me if I don't separate them. So all these little things on the desk that I'm putting together, I'm just like praying that I don't end up regretting not separating it. Thank you, Hugo. So yeah, all this desk clutter, the mouse and keyboard, I would probably just put it on its own layer because if anything affects it, like lighting, it's probably gonna affect it all. But you know, right now I'm comfortable with just putting it on its own layer, as the entire desk as its own layer. So, hold on, let me just boop, gone, boop, back in. So I mean, there shouldn't really be anything that affects only the desk colors individually, but there's always a fear. It's kind of like saving your document, where it's like you usually want to do that as often as possible. Speaking of, I haven't saved once this entire session. Where it's like it's not necessary that you always save if you really want to run the risk, but it always helps in the long run if you just go ahead and save. If you're an absolute art god, you never save once, and that's a fact. Everybody knows Leonardo da Vinci famously never saved a single time. And that's on Ja. I'm actually going to move the monitors to the back, to underneath. That way you can actually like trim off layer. Yeah, that works. Actually, if it's a modern monitor, it wouldn't have any of this. So let me kind of undo all that. Yeah, so like a modern monitors would just like have the bottom bar and you wouldn't even be able to see it because it's just so thin, the margin. Please, I don't. Let's not bring up Deathloop. I'm trying to make friends. No, I'm not gonna talk about Deathloop. I'm not some monkey that's just here to dance. So instead, I'm just gonna trim it. And besides, even if I actually did do the bezel on these monitors, I don't think it's a detail that's actually going to show up. Like, it's going to be so thin that once you zoom out, you won't even be able to notice it. So yeah, it's pretty effective just if you clean up the lines. Yeah, that looks great. I just need to add some shading to the under monitor stands. We do not stand Banksy. Banksy, oh my goodness. I don't hate Banksy. I think Banksy's a great artist, but I do think that some of them are kind of. I think just my caveman brain is like, that's not real art. Hold on, what am I doing? I'm on the wrong layer. I'm such an idiot. The only issue with having everything separated into like its own individual layer is that you will get a little finicky. So sometimes you don't want to separate it if you really think it's going to bother you that much. Otherwise, it is a good idea. Why is nothing? I'm going to cry. Here we go. There we go. I think I have that caveman artist thing where it's just like that modern art isn't real art. Even if I like kind of understand it better than the average Joe, my brain is like, yeah, but that's not real art. All right, thanks for joining. That good enough? Just get a little bit on there. Just enough detail that you can tell it's not completely lazily put together, even though it completely is lazily put together. Like, you want the illusion that I actually worked on this without actually having to work on it. And that's kind of the goal of every artist. I want things to look detailed, but not actually have to do all the work to make it look detailed. That's actually what I mean when I use the word rendering. It's like the level of detail. Yeah, actually, that worked completely. I just had one more level of color, and like already it looks solid. Okay, that's all the desk clutter. Actually, hold on, I forgot. One last one. What color am I using? Okay. Let's get this mid-tone. It's like a sheet of paper that she puts all her streaming checklist. She has just like a little checklist where it's like check lights, check settings. I don't know what an actual checklist is. I think I've heard people that have an actual like checklist for streaming. I'm just caveman who keeps everything the same all the time. I like intentionally design it so like I can't mess with it too much. That was my brother that crashed in a few minutes ago, by the way. I think he's finally gone. Crashed in and ruined the entire stream. No, I appreciate him being here. There you go. Yeah. I love whenever you learn, like, when you finally realize, like, all you need is just, like, a general impression of an object in order to, like, sell the illusion of something being there. I mean, that's what art basically is. Like, you literally, none of this is real. None of this is an actual desk or anything. But because I put just enough, like, shading into it, like, you actually, like, see objects there. I'm explaining paintings as a concept accidentally. But yeah, I love when you reach that level where you're that level of understanding where you're just like, I know that if I put this line here and this color here, I can actually like sell the illusion. You know? Listen, I don't know how you and your siblings are, but I am 100% okay with riffing against my own flesh and blood. I will get barbaric if I need to. All right, so what layer are we on? I kind of want to add the headphones that I have penciled out here, but I think that's getting too much into the weeds of like all the detail. We already have enough desk clutter that it looks like an actual desk that someone would use. I think going any further would just be unnecessary. Where am I? Let's take out some of these. Oh, That's putting in lines. Here it is. There we go. So I think the last thing I'm gonna put it in. Actually, before I do that, never mind. I'm not gonna put it in at all. I was gonna put the rug that I have outlined over here. I have like a little rug, entrance rug, but it is almost entirely covered by the main character. Like you get like this little square bit right here. So I don't think it's gonna be that necessary. I think it's kind of just gonna be a waste of time if I add it. I do need to work on one last poster. And let me add a wire while I'm working on this. And I forgot to actually do the monitors. So let me get back. So we're going to just add it to the monitors layer. Again, would be a time that I could separate the layers, but we're just not gonna. No, it's too light. Let's grab this dark shade. Since this is like security camera footage, I think it would make sense that it would just be on a regular TV screen instead of a high-tech video game monitor. So you actually will notice the bezel. Unless it's like super state-of-the-art, but this one I'm okay with making less state-of-the-art than the others. Wait a second. I just remembered. There's a line tool. Oh no, there's another brother. Hey Jeff. Also, you gave me a heart attack with that subscription. Thank you, but also, I'm just gonna cheat. I'm just gonna use the line tool to get these bezels. No one's gonna know. No one's gonna care. Kind of looks funny to me. It looks like a picture frame, and I don't like that. Oh, good, didn't leave. Hey, both my brothers. Why does this look weird to me? What if we just leave it like that? What about just the top and bottom? I think that's kind of working, but let's try to just make it skinnier on the other sides. Yeah, Streamlabs has it so you can like change individual settings, but it's really weird, and I haven't figured out how to work it completely. So I'm kind of a little terrified of fixing the sounds of those. But I guess that's something I should get to. I'm worried that turning down the audio will just like completely break the setup that I have right now. Okay, that works for me. Just having the sides a lot thinner than the other side makes it look a little bit more like a TV screen to me, even if it makes no sense. Then I just have like the wire. Let me put it a little bit closer to the middle so I can just hide it behind the other monitor. That'll look right. Let's try doing it like a few wires with a little bit of a curve. That way it looks a little bit more like wires and not just like a TV stand. There we go. Okay, now I think I'm happy. Yeah, I think I need to work a little bit more on the wall and floor. But I have like a very simple shading setup right now. Let me take out the line art because that's really distracting. There we go. I'm also going to change the angle of the monitor, so let's do some super cool digital art techniques. I found out that if you hit control while turning things, it actually turns it into a 3D object, which is insanely cool. So I can actually like literally just turn the screen as though it was a real TV screen. Digital art is super cool. Look at that. I literally just like completely fixed the I'm literally amazed by my own things that I already understand. And this is something I absolutely would not be able to do on regular art because I am very lazy with my own art. So if I make like a tiny little mistake where the lines don't match up, what's the word? Whenever you follow the guidelines on an angle. Anyways, I will just leave it so I can actually change it here. Let me go and pull up another example because it's fun to work through examples. Here we go. So here's a character that I'm going to be posting this Friday. Another one of my vampires. So she kind of has a huge head. I can show you the original. This is what the original looked like, and this is what the smaller head version looks like. After this, sometime when I was working on this, I did some exercises to figure out a head size because I kind of always make heads way too big. So I actually just shrunk her head. Like all I had to do was cut the head off and just make it smaller, and then erase some of the neck. It was like 5 minutes. And I love being able to adjust those little tweaks that completely change like wonky bits of your art are so useful. And then I also completely just redrew the nose entirely because I kind of screwed up the nose and it was just weird. So I just completely redrew it digitally. I love being able to do little things like that. Just those fixes that aren't even an option in real life. Or maybe it is, but I don't have the resources or the knowledge. All right. So that's the monitors and the desk completely done. Let me merge this back into the monitor layer. So now they're all connected again. What can we work on now? Let's pull the characters back in just to see where we're at. There we go. Oops, that's the wrong one. Okay, yeah, because that's the one where I drew his hand even though it actually doesn't even show up. So yeah. So we just need to do the poster here, fix the rug, and then maybe do some better background coloring as far as the background. How much time do we have in the stream? We got about 30 minutes. I think what I'm going to do is actually start doing some of the shading on Maria's face. Some of the better shading. I don't know what the step after flats is, but we're going to be fixing that. So which one is which? That's her earring. That's her teeth. That's the flesh. Flesh. All right. So we're going to just select from opaque. And there we go. We can now do anything we want with the face texture. Oh, hey, Mark. Sweet. Nice to have you here. So yeah, let's go ahead and start working on this face. I made it a really dark color, even though she's actually like gray. So let's go ahead and get her actual skin tone on. I just realized, let me just do this. Just completely fill it out. Uh-oh. I did all this on the wrong layer. I'm so angry right now. I always do that. I always like make a new layer and then refuse to actually work on the new layer. So let me just do all that again. Hold on. There we go. And then I'm going to go into another layer so we can get the shadows in. I'm going to start with the shadows. You actually taught me about this this specific fold of skin over here. I actually never even noticed it on people until like you pointed out that I should try doing it. Just like the one that goes like right underneath the eye to like the middle of the nose. And I've noticed ever since then, like I've noticed like how like realistic it makes people look. There you go. All right. Thanks for being here, Sarah. There we go. She's in very ghoulish green. She's got a really nasty skin color. It is just the way of their people. I think I might add just like a tiny bit of blush. Even if that might not be realistic with a vampire like this. There we go. And so we're gonna go on new layer. Let's try adding just a tiny bit of blush. Like almost just like a ghost of like blush. That's an eraser. I put eraser again. There we go. Hold on. I know that looks weird. Hold on. Give me a second. There we go. It's still too bright, but this at least lets me see what I'm actually working with. Then I can dye it down later. Actually, let's get the just completely soft brush. The air spray. And let's just dial it down. Dial it down. What if we use like a multiply? Hold on, let's dial it. Hold on, let's take it a few steps back. There we go. I think I like that a little better. Kind of erased too much of it. I actually really like it with the blush. I was kind of just being silly, but now it actually looks really... That's nice. Let me try erasing it a little bit right here for lighting. Like that. There we go. Whoa, what did we just jump to? There we go. Oy, oy, oy. All right. Probably should have also went ahead and did the ears while I was at it, while I was all together, but no time like now. Oh, I'm gonna stab myself. There we go, finally. What just happened? Go away. There we go. Pink ears. Let's just and obvious. Being a vampire, she has very little blood, but just for the visuals, we can go ahead and give her, just a little bit of blush. Completely cold coffee. My favorite. I think I'm going to do another layer of shadows. Get even darker and more specific. Where's the sizes? Okay. We're on erase again. So this is the darkest of this shade that I'm using. Ooh, I like how gray it is instead of green. I was worried it was going to just basically become like a completely a green. Whoa, why did that get sent all the way to the bottom? Jesus, man. I just wanted it like slightly lower than the other ones. I gotta find the layer again. There you go. That way the shadows can actually go over it. That's the wrong layer. I'm gonna hurt myself. It's a little too harsh. Let me erase some of it. Why is that not an eraser? There we go. Wow, thanks. Something I should also do is probably, she has like veins. Let me go and mark those out. Let me get her file out actually as well. This is her original sketch. I kind of want to remember how I do her facial veins. Are there any more focus? No. This is the best reference I have for her. So it does look like it comes from the chin and all the way up to the brow a little bit. All right. I also want to add the color of her gums to this while I'm doing this. I'm getting pretty close to the end of this stream, but I want to just knock out some of the smaller things or some of the things that I haven't been able to reach yet. Trying to think what her gums would be if she's dead, what color her gums would be. Maybe it's more of a purplish color. but that feels a little bit too almost mean spirited, where it's like we get it, she's gross, but like almost to the point where like it's not humanizing her. That's what I'm worried about. So maybe like a pale lilac or lavender. It's almost too close to just normal skin there. It's a little bit too dark. It's always hard finding the right color. Let me see if I can just desaturate this one. That feels right. That feels good. Let me actually do that. And then also erase some of the coloring here. That way the little gaps in her mouth or in her teeth don't show up as just more teeth. Look at that. Just adds a little bit more coloring where it needed it. Ugh, my back. I think another detail I want to go ahead and get colored out. Let me go to Tetsuya's layers. They're kind of ignoring this part. Why is this not showing up? Oh, I have a layer selected. Yeah, whatever. We'll do it backwards. Just so it's easier to follow the lines. Just get the lines a little closer. There we go. All right, let's see. So got a little bit of blush on her, got plenty of shadows, got those veins to show out. I think the only other, I think that's as good as far as like the base coloring. The rest I want to do whenever I get around to the lighting stage. So I think we're good here. And speaking of good, I actually mean that we're not good because there's another area I want to do. Where is she? On this layer. Let's grab that color. I think actually I can actually just pick it. That's not it. I'm gonna erase again. Yeah, that feels right. Just want to do a little bit of the collarbone. Maybe some the neck too. Oh, am I gonna escape? There we go. Why is there no? Oh, never mind. I see. Where am I? Oops. Hold on. Let me make sure I'm on the only on the layer I need to be. Yeah, this shouldn't take long. Let me also do the hands. But I'm gonna race. Oh, I'm gonna. Oh, ooh, I'm so angry. I'm boiling. There we go. I might go overtime a little bit actually, just so I can finish the hand too. Trying to think of the lighting real quick. Oh, really? You had to cut all that out? Sometimes I double click undo and it really screws me up. There we go. So now we can start working on the getting some midtones in. And we'll get the eraser out and do the exact same. I'll fix that later. Hold on. There we go. Let me deselect just for a second, just to see if that looks weird. I think it just needs that extra layer shading that I also put up here. I think this is the one. Yeah, this is one. I think what I'm gonna do is I might actually just cut these out and put them onto their own layers real quick. See, this is what I was talking about. Sometimes you think you can get away with it, and then sometimes you just can't. There we go. I just wanted a separate opacity so it didn't look as wonky. All right, now I think I'm done for today. All right, so we got all the coloring. We got all the desk objects done. The clutter and the monitors. And we actually got to do some of the skin tone shading. Let's go ahead and go back to the checklist to see what I got to do before I'm done. The meta. So I'm basically done with none of this, which is a little disappointing. You know what it is. Let me get the pencil or the pen out. There you go. Trusting Micron pen. So blocking background shapes. I think that's mostly done. Let's just put half done. Or man, this is just ugly. There we go. A little bit more reasonable. Started. So it looks like it's going to be another 2 sessions. So I know I said it was probably just going to be 2 sessions starting today, but now it looks like it's going to be another 2 sessions after, because the shading is not going to be fast, and I don't think I can get shading for the 3 main characters done, as well as the lighting, as well as the rest of the background. I think the background ended up taking a lot longer than it needed to. And I just spilled coffee all over myself, so you know, there's also that. Maybe a bit of a reward for me not getting that far. Perfect time to end it. Yeah, I had a lot of fun. I'm going to be posting some really great digital art That was disorienting. Ooh. Thank you, Daniel. Sorry, I was trying to think of which name I wanted to use. Daniel, Fernando, whatever. But yeah, that's the end of the session. I'll be doing this again next week.